Welcome to the news on Canal de English. My name is Elie Smith. Good evening. The headlines. The Yaoundé-Douala highway is still mired into problems as the population of that locality have decided to interrupt work on the PK10 and PK16 stretches of the highway. The reasons will be developed here in this newscast. Cameroon wants to become an emerging economy by 2035 and its economic capital Douala is not left behind. What can the economic capital of Douala or the economic capital of Cameroon do to contribute her own quota in the development of Cameroon by 2035? It will be answered here in this newscast. And out of Cameroon, or still in Cameroon, we have news that Cameroon Airlines, Cameroon or Cameco, the national airline, has decided to have a new plan. But the question that begs to be asked is, what can Cameco do that she has not done? And out of Cameroon, we'll be going back to the Middle East where a new coalition has been formed. But we already know that they have already had two other coalitions before. But this time around, the new one is the Islamic coalition led by Saudi Arabia. But what will this new coalition do that the two preceding ones haven't done? This and many more will be developed in our newscast. We'll be beginning our news this evening on a sad note. It is that of a girl whose only name we know is Anastasia. Anastasia will not spend or will be spending her 5th day out of her house, not simply because she doesn't have a home, but because her parents have decided to show her the door. And this sad incident is taking place here in Douala, the economic capital of Cameroon. For detail, our reporter, Ndi Morin, comes back on the sad incident that is taking place here in a neighborhood called Bonaloka.
This girl has been a point of attraction in Bonaloka in Douala. She has been sleeping in this armchair in open air for the past 4 days. Anastasia was forcefully chased out of their father's house by their uncle, a certain Ateba Jean-Paul. She told me the father was a custom clearing agent. Ateba Diodene, her father, she told me died in 2011, leaving behind the only heritage, this house in Bonaloka. Today, the subject is on every lip. Friday at 6 a.m., my uncle Ateba Jean-Paul, together with the quarter head and 5 gendarme officers and some muzzled men, stormed the house, almost breaking down the door. When I finally opened the door, they entered the house and started throwing out all our belongings. To clear the dust on the issue, we called the uncle Ateba Jean-Paul. He was categoric. He told us he does not recognize Anastasia as the late brother's daughter. Her uncle further asked us to see the quarterhead, His Majesty Schreiber. These pictures are clear indications he masters the problem. Unfortunately, the quarterhead Schreiber refused talking to our cameras, but told us he was acting on the instruction of Maurice Ezio. Anastasia can't help but shed tears, especially when her younger ones are back from school. The emotions are high. Her neighbors can't help but shed tears. All the ones is justice to reign. Anastasia's family has been living in Bonaloka for the past 18 years. While waiting for God's intervention, as she puts it, she continued to sleep in open air. From her father's document, he wills everything to his 2 daughters. The burial program also carries the name of the 2 children, a program made 4 years ago by the same uncle.
From one sad story to another one, but different. This time around, as we said at the introduction, at the headlines as we announced, is that for 1 week now, construction work on the PK10 and PK16 stretch of the Douala-Yaoundé highway has been interrupted. Why has it been interrupted? That is what our reporter Joel Dumbo went out to find out and brought back this report.
Here, a camp in becoming. New house for population in Attente of compensations for the construction of the Douala-Yaoundé highway. Kilometer 10 is their localization. A gate to say stop. A kitchen as in the ancient days. Lifestyle here for 1 week now. We are here on the road waiting for our checks. This time we have decided that no money, no work. No kobo since the start of construction works. Solemn memory, February 2015, the list termed non grata. The latest list, we don't even know where it came from. As I speak to you now, my name is not on that list. Endless efforts through requests, evidence today, population here are fed up. The DO, join on phone, has this to say.
The file is well treated. The process is going on very smoothly but efficiently in the ministry in charge of land and surveys. So if the negotiation is not efficient, we shall be obliged to find other ways.
Same blah 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 from the authorities, no longer convincing. In fact, the sitting here is 1 week old, at the detriment of work progress, of course.
They block the road and don't let us to work. That is not good for us, for this country. It's not the first time.
PK 10 to PK 16, the stretch of all troubles. Elsewhere, caterpillars are at work. The storm of claims is over. I am amongst the first people to benefit from compensations here. What we received was at least satisfactory. Sunshine, only money can make it rise, according to inhabitants of PK 10 to PK 16. Nevertheless, let's remain patriotic. Peace work, fatherland.
Well, that was the story, the file by our correspondent, Joel Dombo. We still remain in Yaoundé, where, as you all know, we more often than not complain about the state of human rights in our country. But depending on where you stand, things seems to be improving, and the government has decided to map out a 5-year development plan, which, according to the government, will change things. On more about what the government has done and things that may change, we once again are still in Yaoundé with Beatrice Ngamo.
The delivery and implementation of actions dedicated to the noble cause of human rights in Cameroon, objective of the double presentation ceremony this December 14 in Yaoundé, chaired by the Prime Minister, Head of Government, Philemon Yang. It includes the National Plan of Action for the Promotion and Protection of Human Rights in Cameroon for 2015 to 2019 and the report by the Ministry of Justice on Human Rights in Cameroon in 2004 by Minister Laurent Esso. This very first national plan is with an overall objective which originates from the Growth and Employment Strategic Paper and the holistic integration of human rights-based approach in all sectors of national life.
We've achieved quite a lot since the past 10 years with the introduction of the national program for the teaching of human rights. Human rights are being taught now, and so many Cameroonians know about their rights, and they are certainly taking steps to ensure that their rights are protected. So promotion and protection would mean continuing to teach other people to know the rights, teach people who are supposed to provide those rights to be mindful of their actions.
The goal is to implement human rights culture and strengthen the rule of law, which is important for peace and development, fruit of a broad participation approach.
I trust that if the resources are provided in a timely manner and all the actions are executed, then by the end of 2019, we shall have accomplished quite a lot.
The 5-year national plan, a bilingual publication with over 170 pages in both languages, is under the slogan guaranteeing the rights of each and everyone. It covers human rights development, governance, strategic management of states, amongst many.
From the political capital of Cameroon, which is Yaoundé, we are back here in Douala, the economic capital of Cameroon, where, as you all know, the government of Cameroon is aspiring to become an emerging economy by 2035. It is the same aspiration shared by the city of Douala. Toward that end, the city of Douala did organize today an international symposium in order to find out ways and means to help Douala and its aspiration materialize to make Cameroon become an emerging economy by 2035 and the city of Douala also an emerging city. For details, we contact once again our reporter, Ndi Mori.
Poor drainage system that most often results to untold flooding, the absence of a transport system to facilitate movement, garbage heaps here and there, haphazard construction of houses with little or no footpath, and much more. This is the ugly face of the city of Douala, to the discomfort of many. To social critics, all these problems result from the absence of poor urban planning, what university researchers are decrying.
All theses hold that the urban development in Douala has not been planned. All theses hold again that urban development in Douala has not had enough foresight. All this comes to the same point that there's been poor or very unintelligent urbanization. What we intend by this seminar is to give Douala the cardinal points of an intelligent urbanization, which is what has emerged in recent literature, what we call sustainable urbanization.
Through the concept Douala Futurists, university researchers want to seek lasting solutions by developing urban strategies. If it, they say it is their own contribution for the emergence of Douala by 2025.
We know that urban areas are emerging so strongly in Cameroon, and Douala, which is a first, ought to be given that good treat. If we fail to treat Douala fairly well, we will definitely fail in all others. So we are giving Douala all our knowledge in terms of sustainable urban growth, sustainable economic, environmental, and socio-economic development to its future growth.
An initiative of Société Lavang, Sheikh Anta Diop, the international symposium, which is the first of its kind at the Douala University, brought together researchers from the US, Gabon. It also saw the participation of researchers from all state universities.
From Douala, we are going back to Yaoundé, where the Minister of Transport, Alain Edgar Mebengo, was hosted the Nigerian High Commissioner to Cameroon, His Excellency Hazida Mustafa. What was the reason why the Nigerian High Commissioner decided to visit the Minister of Transport? Details once again with our reporter in Yaoundé, Beatrice Ngamo.
The economies of all countries, and Nigeria and Cameroon has extensive relationship in the transport sector. The discussion during the audience, Transport Minister Edgar Alain Mebengo granted the Nigerian High Commissioner to Cameroon Monday in Yaoundé first in this light, cementing their willingness to continue cooperation in the transport sector. One important aspect between the two sisterly nations is in air transportation.
We have signed a BASA agreement. BASA agreement is an agreement that enables airlines of both countries to operate. Based on that, we have Canal, who is operating in Nigeria, and we have two Nigerian airlines, ARIC and Aero Contractors, that are operating and taking passengers from Cameroon to and from Nigeria.
Nigeria, it should be noted,
also have some interest in the Cameroonian railway, which is an area that we need to look at and to develop.
In the ports facility,
I came to also congratulate the minister on the completion of the Kribi deep sea port. We look forward to working with that facility. We think it's a very good addition to the Cameroonian economy and to the economy of Central Africa. We look forward to seeing how we can exploit this for the general good of our continent.
The Nigerian High Commissioner, Her Excellency Hadiza Mustafa's courtesy call was also occasion to congratulate Edgar Alain Mebengo for his new post as transport.
Back in the littoral region, precisely in the Mongo division. And in the Mongo division, we are in Konsamba, the divisional capital of the Mongo, where the population of that city, Konsamba, recently visited a military base in the Mongo division. It was an opportunity for the population of Konsamba to familiarize themselves and have more knowledge on the type of weapons used in the defense of the country. More on this with our reporter, Christelle Katala.
Inhabitants of Konsamba witnessed Open Doors Day at the military base of that locality. It was an opportunity for the population to get an in-depth of the military assault artillery, their role and their mission in the military training school. What I retained from this visit is that the army is organized. Every unit has its role, and each group works in solidarity with the other. When I go through the different artillery, I discover that those in place are non-rank officials, so woe unto those who want to do military service without education, because I see the army here have at least ordinary or advanced level certificates, including internal training. So when I watch their different activities, I discover that without them, we cannot conquer the enemy. Adults, youth, children visited the different stands. This Open Doors Day is very important for the population and us because in the defense process launched by the head of state, it is very necessary to associate the population to defense activities of the nation. So during this day, we receive the population of Mongo Division, in particular, and Cameroon as a whole. So it should no more be a mystery to them. The ceremony earlier began by an ascension to Mount Manengoba and a football match that was played between the warders and the firefighters.
Well, from the Mongo divisional capital of Konsamba, we are going back to Yaoundé, where our correspondent, Tabby Clarkson, tells us that Cameco, the state national carrier, not known for its efficiency, will soon take another dimension. But what will Cameco now deliver to its customers in terms of services? Find out more from this report.
American firm Boeing Consulting has this Tuesday signed a partnership agreement with the Cameroon Airlines Corporation Cameco. Cameco's general manager Nandan Sanju signed on behalf of Cameroon, while Michael Tandet, the sales director of Boeing, signed on behalf of his corporation.
But this convention with Boeing will definitely have Cameco to take off. Boeing is bringing his expertise. Boeing is bringing all what they know to assist and to help Cameco. I think with such partnership, Cameco is definitely going to grow.
Just sign this partnership that we've been designing and working on for many months in a close coordination with the entire Cameco team. So it's our pleasure to be here like today, and we are starting to work right away. We have our team here, and let's see what's going to be.
Present at the signing ceremony was Transport Minister Edgar Alegmebengo and the American Ambassador to Cameroon, His Excellency Michael Stephen Oza. All in their own words lauded the initiative taken by the officials of both Boeing Consulting and Cameco.
We are bringing together Boeing, one of the great companies of America, that brings to Cameroon the best technology and the greatest expertise in the industry. It comes to Cameroon to help Cameroon create jobs and launch its economy and build that partnership between our two countries.
The American firm Boeing Consulting has a massive experience with over 100 years of existence. The firm has also signed a good number of partnerships with countries in the Africa.
Well, we will stay still in Yaoundé, the capital of Cameroon, where two Cameroonian artists, respectively Ben Deka and Theodore Odingi, were knighthooted today. For details on why these renowned Cameroonian artists were knighthooted, once again, Joel Dombo has more from Yaoundé.
Ben Deka, je vais dire Ben Deka.
It was all a poem to chant Cameroon's recognition for a job well done. For once, a man is prophet in his homeland. Two men in this case.
Nous vous décernons la médaille de chevalier de l'ordre de la valeur. Nous vous faisons officier de l'ordre du mérite camerounais.
Ben Deka, Olu, missed at Knight of the National Order of Value. 32 years of love lullabies. 1986, Amour à sens unique. How can we forget?
I feel good anyway, you know, I waited a lot of time to get it. Now I'm proud to get it. And anyway, I hope to work hard to try to do the best for all of my people.
Plastic art in Cameroon has a name. Ondigi Onana Theodore, Oteo for Noahs. Today, Knight of the National Order of Merit. This for making colors speak in harmony for 50 years now. The medal award ceremony at the Ministry of Arts and Culture, December 14, quite in an artistic parade. They came out in their numbers to rejoice with their peace. As smooth as fluent as the rainbow, fashioned Oteo.
Well, we are leaving our shores or our country to neighboring country, that is Nigeria, precisely in Kaduna, the northern Nigerian city, where a battle between the Shia Muslim community there in Nigeria and the Nigerian army has left several Shia militants or Muslims, Shia Muslims dead. And it is also reported that the head of the Shia community in Nigeria, Sheikh Zakzakian's wife, are still alive even though they sustained bullet wounds, but they have been transferred or carried to the Zaria hospital and they are reportedly responding to treatment. And still concerning the incident in Zaria and Kaduna, Iran, the largest Shia nation or Shia power in the world, has called on the Nigerian government to help protect the Shia Muslim community in that country. We still stay in Nigeria, but we are going a bit further to the Middle East, where a coalition has been created. This is the second or the third one. The first one we all know is that between Russia and Iran, and the second is the United States and 64 that country, and the third one now, it is called the coalition, the Islamic Coalition Against Terrorism, headed by Saudi Arabia and made up of 34 countries from Africa, the Middle East, and the Arab world. But the question that begs to be asked is this: what will this new coalition do that the two other ones haven't done? For detail, our reporter, Christel Katala.
Saudi Arabia has said 34 mainly Muslim nations have joined a new military alliance to fight terrorism. A joint operation center is to be established in the Saudi capital, Riyadh. Countries from Asia, Africa, and the Arab world are involved in the alliance, but Saudi Arabia's main regional rival, Iran, is not. It comes amid international pressure for Gulf Arab states to do more in the fight against so-called Islamic State. Saudi Defense Minister Mohammed bin Salman said the new alliance will coordinate efforts against extremists in Iraq, Syria, Libya, Egypt, and Afghanistan. Neither Iraq nor Syria, whose government are close to Shia-ruled Iran, are in the coalition, nor in Afghanistan. Saudi Arabia is part of the US-led coalition against Islamic State and is also leading a military intervention in Yemen against Shia Houthi rebels.
Well, it is on that sad note or joyful note, it depends on how you look at things, that will be running off our news today, the 15th day of December here from Douala in our studios. We hope to have you tomorrow, God willing.